Just adding in a trigger warning here. We are talking about the Bloody Countess. There will be torture involved, and some of this torture does involve young children. So, caution moving forward. Thanks for listening. Come explore the unknown with us and enter the Chamber of Shadows, a podcast for the dark, haunted, and mysterious. I am your host, Selene, and I am joined by my co-host, Endora. Say hi, Endora.
Good evening, spooky fam.
So this is the first episode that Endora is doing today. How do you feel about that?
Me, I'm super excited to tell you guys about this crazy bitch.
Coming out hard. Hell yeah. I know nothing about this. So this is all going to be new to me. I'm literally completely blind.
Okay, well, we can start with it is during the 16th century. That's where it begins. It's in a little bit of the 17th century, but most of it is 16th century. And I want you to think about the time of Magellan and Elizabeth I and Copernicus, I think is
I've heard that.
starting all this scientific libraries. And so this is a long time ago.
So this is for sure Europe.
Oh, yes. It's in Hungary. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Not what I expected. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe Hungary, they're not up and mixing it with us now. It's like Slovakia. And so I think a lot of people don't know a lot of Hungarian history. I certainly didn't.
I definitely don't.
So yeah. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready.
Let's tell the story of the Bloody Countess. It's 1560s in fractured and war-torn Hungary. A baby girl was born into a very influential family. Her name is Erzbet. Now you're going to hear people call her Elizabeth. But that is just a bastardization of her name. Bastardization. That's a big word.
It's like what we would call that name today. Is that kind of a...
Yeah, it is. I mean, we feel the need to bastardize everything. So, but I think, honestly, I think Erzbet is a more beautiful name. And
it's gorgeous.
It's very unique, and I'm going to use it.
Erzbet?
Erzbet.
Erzbet. Okay.
Her name is Erzbet. Her parents, Anna and George, sat upon the throne in a small town called Nia Herbator. Nia Herbator. I had to say it 100 times.
Okay. Nia Herbator. Okay.
Yeah. I never heard of it. Okay. She grew to be quite beautiful and extremely bright. She was fluent in many languages, including Greek, German, and Latin among them. Her wealthy and powerful father lavished her with opulent gifts and vast acreages. She had siblings, but not much is known about them, except for her brother Istvan, who you may see, if you look any of this up, as Stephen. But his actual name was Istvan.
Istvan.
And we'll meet him much later, very briefly.
Okay.
We might talk about him a little. But it wasn't all ball gowns and garden parties for little Erzbet. Unfortunately, she was exposed to violence at an early age. She watched her two eldest sisters be torn out of the carriage by rebelling peasants. She watched them be tortured, murdered, and dismembered. She was 5.
She was 5?
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the age of 12, she was betrothed to 17-year-old Ferenc Nadazdi, which is such a sexy name.
No, right? Am I blushing? My face feels hot.
He would become a national hero and named the Black Knight for
Oh.
saving Hungary.
Oh.
The young
Is
man
that
was,
like he's
oh,
he's, like, significant in Hungary's culture?
yes, he was. Yeah, he
Okay,
was.
okay,
Even though his family, well, you'll find out.
okay.
Okay. He would become a national hero and named the Black Knight. The young man was mad for her and wanted to marry her immediately.
And how old was he?
17.
Okay.
But that was a thing then.
It
So,
was,
I
and
mean, I
that's
kind
not
of get
as big
it.
of an yeah, that's not as big of an age gap as I thought it was gonna be.
Right. Yeah. As we've heard in
Yeah.
other stories. Yeah. Correct. Um, that was not the custom, however, and he must wait until she's 15. This was a nice match politically for both families. The Bathorys were pleased that Frank's father had much money and influence, but no throne. So, like, he's cool and he can help them, but he's not a threat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Erzsébet, however, had eyes for a peasant boy whose
Oh,
name his name has been lost to time. She became
is
pregnant
this
at
I
14.
this is her villain origin story?
Not quite yet,
Okay.
but we're getting there. Um, okay, where was I? Erzsébet
Sorry.
became pregnant at 14. Her mother hid her away in an uninhabited castle. She gave birth there to a beautiful baby girl and named her Anastasia. A peasant family would raise her and keep her identity hidden. For their kindness, they would be given golden land. Erzsébet returned home as if nothing happened. Unfortunately, that didn't last very long because Frank heard of this. His betrothed had been unfaithful. He did forgive Erzsébet. The boy was not so lucky. He was castrated and then thrown into a pit of vicious, hungry dogs. He was torn to
Oh,
bits in front of her.
oh my god. Okay, so we've got her siblings who were murdered, dismembered in front of her, and now the love of her life was
Yeah, that's rough. It gets dark fast. Frank married his Frank married his bride in 1575 as planned. The wedding was huge, hundreds attended. It was described as a social event of the century. As it was customary for the lower ranking spouse to take the other's name, he became Frank Bathory. That's weird, right?
so he took her last name.
He took her last name. I've never heard that
Okay.
before. Have you ever heard that before?
Um, I mean, it doesn't sound unfamiliar to me. I don't know about, like, the history, but I know, like, some people in today's time make up their own last name. Like, when they get married, they, like you know what I mean?
I don't know anybody, but I have heard about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Erzsébet moved into Frank's home in Sarvar. She was granted the title Mistress of the Ketchtes Castle. She quickly learned that torture and murder of her former lover was not just an act of an isolated fury, but a way of life for Frank's family. Her husband would tell her stories of how he tortured servants. This is what he expected of her. He would show her methods. She would help with those methods. Then she would perform those methods to perfect them. He was very pleased for how well she caught on and how quickly she took to it.
Okay, well, this isn't surprising considering what he did to the love of her life. I'll
Right.
throw
But
that out there.
yeah, I mean, it does seem like, oh, he's very angry with me. And this boy, you know, took my virginity, which is very upsetting to him. So it did seem like it was going to be an isolated incident. No, actually not. Soon Frank was declared chief commander of the Hungarian troops. He was leaving to fight, leaving 15-year-old Erzsébet, 15-year-old Erzsébet in the castle. She was trusted to run things how she saw fit, which she was found to be amazingly adept at, and no one dared challenge Sarvar. Frank did not return for 9 years. He went to war
Oh,
and did not return for 9 years, immediately insisting that they start a family. Erzsébet bore him 6 children and was said to be a loving, doting mother.
okay, so she gave him 6 children after he came back, after
Yeah,
those
so now she's
9
24.
years?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So now she's 24 and she immediately starts pushing the pups out. Like, right now, I want them. I've waited too long. I've been at war too long. You know, we're in danger of not starting a family if we don't get to this right now.
Okay, so he goes to war. He's gone for 9 years. She's excellent, apparently, at what he taught her.
Mhm. And was not challenged, was never challenged because they were so afraid of her. Mhm. Even the
Okay.
surrounding after what she did and continued to do to her servants at her husband's behest, no one challenged her about anything. They didn't wanna end up on
So,
her rack.
why maybe this was just the way of the times, or maybe you're gonna get into this, but why did she just so readily take to this?
She's been exposed to a lot in her young
I mean,
age.
yeah. So I guess, like, is it is it anger from, you know what I mean? Like, is this her kind of, like, way of retribution? But that doesn't make sense because you're taking it out on servants and not people of power. I
Well, it's acceptable.
right?
It's acceptable.
Well, that's true too.
Servants were little more than slaves,
Yeah.
and so were the people of the village as well. So, mhm, yeah,
I mean, I guess, yeah, that is kind of a power dynamic that people would have
yeah.
back, I mean, not even too terribly long ago.
I mean, yeah, it's been 500 years, but
No, 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 but I'm saying, like, you still, like, in other countries and everything, like, that's still a like, kind of having that power dynamic
yeah, oh
wasn't
yeah,
just 500 years ago, like, it's still yeah,
yeah. Oh no, you're right. There's definitely a class war. That's real. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm. Um, okay. So in 1604, when Erzbet was 43, so they've had this family and been doing
wow,
well all this time. Frank sustained a battle wound. He
oh,
became septic and died. She did not take the death of her Black Knight well. Grief left its mark on her face, and she was painfully aware of it. She felt ugly. She was depressed, probably had some mental health issues for a very long time unaddressed. Yeah.
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 Wh and how did he get the nickname Black Knight again?
He wore black, but he was the only one allowed to wear black. He was the darkness coming for the enemy. He would do things
Okay,
other leaders wouldn't do,
okay,
and we
okay, okay.
know we know he's adept at it, but he's been practicing his whole life.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Sorry, continue.
At 15, her torturing methods were very mild, but with age, her thirst for violence grew. She began using tools and sharpening her skills. It is told that a servant girl was caught stealing a pear. The girl was stripped and tied. The simple act of theft was the tipping point for this widow. She beat the girl with many tools, but she would not die. Enraged, Erzbet took a pair of scissors and stabbed her repeatedly. When she was finally dead, Erzbet wiped her hands of the blood. She noticed how the flesh underneath the blood looked younger somehow, glowing. And with that, the Bloody Countess was born. First, she used her own housemaids. She would fill bathtubs with blood on a daily basis. If you think that's impossible, blood clots make soaking out of the question. Let me introduce you to a plant called meadowsweet. Never heard of it? How about salicylic acid? Sound
Oh,
familiar? That's because it's another name for aspirin, a widely used
yeah.
painkiller and blood thinner.
Yep.
So that's when people say you can't really do the things that she did, she actually can. She had an aunt, we don't really talk about her that much. I believe her name was Clara, and she taught her some dark magic. Not a lot, but enough. And herbs obviously were introduced because she knew about this as a blood thinner.
And what was the herb called?
Meadowsweet. It's a plant.
Meadowsweet.
Hmm.
Is that still? I mean, I assume it is still a plant today, considering aspirin. But
I think it grows here. It grows all over Europe. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Um,
So she didn't get this nickname until she was well into her 40s.
correct. Yeah, she was the wife of the Black Knight. She was a big damn deal, and you better not mess with her. Yeah. Mm.
So what is this? She saw this glowing under her skin.
So it is described. I read it in the books. I saw some stuff online, and apparently, rubbing those proteins and acids into your skin plumps your skin. I mean, that's not shocking. We're doing it with sheep uteruses and all kinds of weird shit. So yeah,
So what are we assuming she was seeing then? That
that
this
her dull, old, depressed, probably dehydrated skin was reacting to the liquid and proteins in the blood and plumping. That would be my guess.
so the blood reacted with her skin.
Yeah, not just hers. I don't we don't really need to talk about adrenochrome today, but people are doing it today. Mhm.
Adenochrome.
Mhm.
I don't think I know what that is.
It's yeah, it's really long. It would be
Okay.
a really long explanation.
Okay. I'll look it up. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
scary.
so are we under the impression that this younger woman who she killed and her, I guess, skin was glowing, that she was taking this
Meadowsweet. I'm
meadow
guessing
sweet?
that she probably right away realized that the blood was clotting, and she was like, "Hey, Aunt Clara, what am I supposed to do? This is working, but I'm having issues." And she's like, "Oh, just put a little meadowsweet in it. Like you call me. Hey, I want to make some gravy." I'm sure it was letters or
That was
messengers or
crazy.
something, but yeah, yeah, just like that.
Okay, so she I want to make sure I understand this right. She kills this woman, she sees her skin glowing.
Yeah, when she's cleaning herself up. Hmm.
Oh, her own skin.
Yes, it was on her
Okay.
hands from
Her
stabbing
own
her.
skin.
Yeah.
I see. Her own skin was glowing, and we're assuming that's from the clots?
Well, it probably wasn't clotted yet. She was still alive until just a
Okay,
minute
so
ago. So,
this fresh blood was making her skin glow.
mhm, mhm, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yep.
And so she was like, "Ooh, this makes me look younger." So that's what led to the bathtubs full, and she wanted to, I'm guessing, maintain that so she could have that supply. Is that
Yes. Yeah.
okay? Which brings in that
Meadowsweet. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
sweet meadow sweet. Um, so that she could maintain that supply and it wouldn't clot. Okay, I'm with you now. Sorry. I was like, wait, this younger girl's skin was glowing? I'm confused. Okay,
Oh no, she was dead.
I understand.
She was not glowing. She was
Yeah,
bleeding.
that's that. I was like, that's usually the opposite, but that's okay. Okay, I'm with you now. Okay.
All right.
Sorry, continue. So, meadowsweet,
All right.
aspirin.
Let's get back into it. It couldn't be just any blood. She believed that it had to be virgin blood. If virgin
Oh.
Yes, if virgin blood could make her more beautiful on the outside, imagine what rejuvenating quality it would have on her if she drank it. Uh-huh.
What's up with this whole, like, history with virgins?
I don't know. I it was listen, if I lived then, my 12-year-old daughter would not be a virgin. I'm
No!
just saying,
No!
sorry about it, sis, but, this
I
puts
mean,
you in danger, girl.
I mean, either way, in some aspects, I guess it's dangerous because they also didn't like women who weren't married to be virgins either, so it's like this, like
Everything
I don't
about it is
know.
screwy, and, how do you know? How did you know?
Yeah, what I just here's I don't let me pull myself together. What's up with the virgins? What's up with the virgins? Like, okay. Okay, so it had to be virgins. Got
I'm sure
it.
that it probably has something to do with if they're virgins, they don't have any sexually transmitted diseases. We could start there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but is that something that was known about and, like, had concerns with at that point? I
Oh,
know
I'm
well, let
sure.
me take that
Yeah.
back because I know because of the tours and piracy, like, syphilis was a huge problem with piracy in that
Mhm.
time.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, because apparently Blackbeard suffered really bad from syphilis. So, uh, yeah, I guess that does make sense then. Okay.
Yep. So, virgins started becoming scarce. Huh.
Ah,
No one
wonder why.
no one could be lured to her castle under the guises of jobs and money. The villagers began sending their young daughters away from the castle of no return, out of the Bloody Countess's reach. She began preying on noble women whose families had fallen on hard times. She lured them with promises of wealth and status. Of course, it wasn't long before the noble families recognized a pattern and refused to allow Erzbet anywhere near their daughters.
I mean,
According to
yeah.
Yeah, according to Laszlo, God bless you. According to Laszlo Taroxy, the author of Tragica Historia, Erzbet killed over 600 virgins from all over Hungary. Yeah. She was said to like blood even more if the virgin was tortured first. The terror in
What?
Mhm. The terror enhanced it somehow, making it more potent. These methods included asphyxiation, hypothermia, hot irons, and more.
Okay, we're gonna pause there because we're gonna bring in our knowledge of animal medicine and meat processing. This is interesting to me because when we look at torture and stuff in regards to things like meat, it is not favorable.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah, that's what
Even
all
with
that free
stress.
range is about, and yeah, that's what all of that
Right.
is about.
And
Yep.
I mean, a lot of people might not know this, but, even especially with swine and cattle, they even try to maintain that low stress environment because the stress levels can mess up the hormones and that can change the quality of the meat as well.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I find this interesting. You said asphyxiation?
Yeah, she'd like to use scarves and when they were tied up and choke them till they passed out, then have them come back around again and continue to do that over and over again.
So sh- Just because I literally took my exam today for human medicine and we were talking about respiration. That's interesting to me because that means there's more carbon dioxide in the blood
Correct. Yeah.
and it's more acidic. The blood would be more acidic.
Yeah. Yeah. Look up adrenochrome. That's all I'm gonna say. They also
Adrenochrome.
they also enjoy those stress hormones. Yeah.
So she was putting this on her body and drinking it at this point.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Early on, when the virgin famine first began, she developed a method where a tiny, sharp bird bone was inserted into the victim's jugular. She was suspended from above, and just enough was drained. Then a cork was placed in the bone, keeping them alive longer and the blood freshest. However, victims frequently became septic, so she did away with that practice. She also was fond of the Iron Maiden, collecting blood in buckets from underneath. Do you know what the Iron Maiden is?
No.
Have you seen those? I think they're called Russian dolls that close in on each other. Like there's a little teeny one
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
yeah 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 yeah. It's like the biggest one of those.
Yeah.
Only the
Okay.
whole inside, and it's shaped like a woman, and the
All right.
whole inside of it is filled with iron spikes. So when they close it, it pierces the person inside all over. Yeah.
I
And then
think I have heard of this actually.
there is the only movie that I can think of that used it that comes right to mind is Sleepy Hollow, where his mother in the beginning, he's dreaming and he's thinking of her and she's like dancing with him in a meadow and he's a little boy, and then all of a sudden bam, she's in an Iron Maiden and blood just sort of pours out of there.
Oh my god, I've never seen it. I know it was filmed here, but
Yeah, that's an Iron Maiden. That's what that is.
okay.
Yeah, it's a torture
Iron. Okay.
device.
That makes
But
sense.
I would like
I know when you now that you've described it, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
So
it's very wicked.
she would use that?
Mhm.
What were the benefits of using that? Just quicker.
Well, I think honestly, from the court records, it looks like she used it mostly with 11 and 12-year-old, like really, really young girls. And I think it's because she couldn't stand to torture them. She had children of her own, like children. These weren't young maidens, these were babies.
And that brings in a whole different perspective to this. Like, this is a mother.
Mhm. Never raised a hand to her children. Neither did he. Yeah.
I think I also like this is stupid, but like I for a minute I'm like forgot that virgins are including those 12 and 13-year-old girls. Like this
Mhm.
isn't like full-grown women.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, they were married. If they were 20 and not married, they were old maids.
Oh yeah,
I
100%.
They didn't live that long. They were dying of all kinds of shit. We didn't have anything,
Yeah.
any sort of medicine to really speak of. A little bit of herbal stuff and some doctoring here and there, some bloodletting, but nothing really. Yep,
Okay.
that's crazy. The beginning of the end for Erzbet followed the death of a young noblewoman. When questioned about her death, she stated the girl committed suicide. Her overconfidence became her undoing because attention had been drawn. The priest had been told about the disappearances. He in turn alerted King Matthias II, the king assigned Georgie Thurzo to the investigation. In March of 1610, Thurzo began uncovering hidden secrets of the Catchise castle. It was said that grown men, soldiers of war, were shocked and sickened by what they had found. Badly mutilated bodies, drained of blood, some buried, some stacked in the dungeon. Witness after witness, some say upwards of 300 witnesses, all repeated the same stories. 11 to 12-year-old girls tortured in the Iron Maiden, chained to walls, hung from ceilings, draining the blood from their slit jugulars. One witness mentioned a journal. That journal still exists and is believed to be in Budapest to this day.
That she wrote her journal?
She was keeping a journal of her torture and how she was doing with her treatments. The blood treatments. For science, Yeah. After presenting the king with all the evidence, a trial soon began. Witness after witness testified to the atrocities. Some of the journal was read out loud.
Oh.
She was quickly convicted and sentenced to solitary confinement.
Yeah, that she was.
Immediately bricked up into a windowless room in the castle, only small openings for air to pass through and food. Erzbet lived this miserable existence for 4 years, never repenting. On August 21st of 1610, she complained to one of her 2 guards, the only people she was allowed to speak with for this whole 4 years were these guards. She complained to one of her guards that her hands were cold and she could not warm them. He advised that it's getting late and she should lie down under the covers. The next morning, when she did not retrieve her breakfast tray, they busted the wall down and found her dead inside. She was originally buried at the Church of Catchis, but the villagers staged an uproar and demanded she be moved. She was to an undisclosed location. There remains some debate as to whether or not her punishment was just. Some say she was framed so that her only
Framed.
living sibling, Istvan, could take her land and riches for himself. What do you think?
I mean, there's no way she didn't do it. She's got all these people, all these witnesses.
Yeah, same. I mean, I'm just saying both things could be true.
How did she die?
They don't know. She just got in bed and died. She got in bed under the covers like he told her to. He found her
I
dead
mean,
in the
it makes
morning.
sense that they buried her at an undisclosed location. A, so people probably would leave the grave alone, but B, also so people wouldn't worship it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because, I mean,
We've discussed this before in cases. Good people want to know where it's at because they're angry, and bad people want to know where it's at because they're not. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. I think both things are true. I think Istvan didn't weigh in to save her or condemn her.
Oh, yeah.
He knew she was. Where else is her stuff going to go?
Wait, so it left to him and not her children, though?
Correct. I don't know. Maybe it's a Hungary thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, they didn't think that her punishment was just. Is it because, and this brings in a taboo topic of conversation, but is this because they felt like she should be tortured? Was that kind of their thought
Th
process with that?
That's definitely the villagers' perspective, but as far as people that think she should not have been punished, they actually believe that, somebody else in the castle was doing the killing, except sorry about the journal, sis. It
Y
damned
y
ya.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did they do I mean, obviously, this is a very, very different time period, but did they do, like, handwriting comparisons and stuff?
I don't think they had time, I don't think so. I don't think because they were like, what?"
I just I
Yeah,
think it's a little and we've talked about convenience. I think it's a little too convenient that she tortured people for all these years, and then she found a new way of torture, and, I mean, 300 people's 3 you said 300
s
people came
6
out?
s oh, 300 witnesses, yeah,
Witnesses.
yeah.
300 witnesses, that's a lot of people to try to make something up and frame somebody.
Listen, I'm just saying 10 people is a lot of people to get all on
Yeah,
the
to
same
get the
page.
same page.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I mean, somebody she had the history with it.
Yeah,
And I mean, actually this brings in kind of the topic of philosophy, which is very interesting to me because um we talked in my philosophy class about we talked about the sense of evil, right? Is evil born or is it made? And I don't remember the exact names of some of the people we talked about, but essentially it was this son of a dictator. And, he was only taught that people were supposed to be tortured and people were supposed to be, treated poorly. And so when he became that leader and that dictator, that was all he knew. So that's what he did. So it becomes this kind of, this balance of you're old enough to know better, but also if that's all you're taught, so that's kind of what that makes me think of with her is I'm prefacing this by saying she's evil, like flat out. There's like she's evil, but it just kind of links in with me of what she experienced with her siblings and then
right. Was she
the love of
born
her life.
or was she taught?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's which why not both?
I mean,
Like
that's a decent argument. You have to be prime to accept it. So, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's very young. Children take in a lot of information, especially behaviorally.
Mhm.
So for that to happen when she was, let's say 8, I think that's what you said was 8 with her siblings?
She was 5. Yeah.
She was 5.
Mhm.
Okay, even more so. Even more so. That's a very significant period of development and learning in children.
Sure it is. Yeah. Yeah, so that kind of behavior from the peasants showed a 5-year-old girl, "It's us or you, sis."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for that to be repeated when she was 12, 12, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for that to be repeated when she was 12, which is also still very young. I wouldn't I don't know that 12 is as impressionable as a 5-year-old, but I mean, it's still kind of reaffirming that violence.
I agree.
And then you marry into this family who that's a norm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It didn't
mean,
it didn't talk about his parents, and I couldn't see anything really about his parents, as like, is this was this his jam? Was he the one? Or did he learn that from his family? Was he like, "Well,
yeah.
okay, I'm a warrior. I'm I'm gonna do warrior stuff," but that's not really warrior stuff. That's really, psychopath
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
and that's why I enjoyed learning about it and having those conversations in philosophy is because I mean, it's a tough thing to think about. It's a tough thing to look at of I mean, that's yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. This is 100 years. All of this took place 100 years after Vlad,
Okay.
um, in Romania and all of that,
Which I don't
Transylvania.
know much about that either. I mean,
But he was
I know a
also
little
looked
bit,
at
but
as a hero. Um,
well, yeah, because
yeah,
let's touch on that. So, this Black Knight was looked at as being a hero in Hungarian culture.
right. He
For
was pro
what?
well, he was protecting, his lands from the Ottoman Empire. They were terrified because they were Christians, and, the Ottoman Empire was Muslim, and it was scary to them, and everything about it was scary, and they were
But this
taking
Black
over.
Knight isn't?
No, because he wasn't doing it to them, he was doing it to people trying to invade their lands and take their homes from them and
Oh,
change the
I
way
thought
they
he was
live.
doing it to servants.
He was. That's where he practiced
Oh.
in private at his own castle. He didn't do that to the villagers, she did. She
So
did
did
that after
no
he died.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so did nobody know that they were practicing this in their
I don't
home?
I don't think so, no. I mean,
Oh.
outside of because once you were there, that's it, you're there. That's where you're gonna work here, you're gonna die here. You're here. You
So
belong to me now.
it's not like the villagers knew what they were doing behind closed
Oh,
doors,
certainly,
basically.
I don't believe that they did. I mean, somebody who's done more research than I might have a different opinion, but I don't think that they did. They really were very grateful that they had somebody who would do the most to keep them safe and in their homes.
Okay, then that makes sense.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
So once he died, she started practicing, and that's when it kind of started spreading.
yeah.
Uh, hey, just another question. What the what the fuck took so long for her to get accused?
Yeah, it was a long time. I'm not doing the math right now, but yeah, it was a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I know you said I think it was 1610.
Yeah, but when did he die? Hold on. 1 second. 1604. So 8 years. Wait, 8.
8
1604.
years. You're right. No, 6.
6
6.
years. 6 years. She went through so she is doing 100 a year, so every 3 days.
That's so wild.
And she's like, "Where the fuck are all the virgins?" And they're like, "Bitch, you keep eating
They're
them."
like
Yeah,
you're literally what do you mean, what are we doing with them?
yeah,
What are you doing with them?
yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's a lot of people. Considering, like, in today's time, an average serial killer is averaging less than a handful a year, looking at it from that perspective.
right,
100 people a year is astonishing.
yeah,
Like, and I feel like it's one of those where I've told you and Oobs before, I've been like, with Gettysburg and the war, and even at Fort Fisher, like, I have a hard time conceptualizing how many people would have been involved in this. I know the numbers, but actually conceptualizing that is different. I
Yeah,
mean, 100 people, like, that's a lot of people in a year. And 600 people is wild.
right. Well, she had to keep sending people out further and further.
Did she make it through her blood supply? Was she doing this every day?
All I know is she was trying different methods to keep the blood fresh, and none of it really was working. The best thing she came up with, I'm saying that in quotes because it was torturous and wrong, but the best idea that she had was the bird bone in the neck, which I was like, Jesus Christ, that's wicked. That is wicked that you came up with that. Yeah, she basically gave her a jug calf
Yeah.
with a bird bone. Evil genius. That's what you are.
Like, I keep saying like, I'm I'm not even gonna edit all of them out because I feel like it really shows how kind of astonished I am at all of this.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I just really wanted to do these victims and I just wanted to do justice to this story because these horrible people and it was completely acceptable. I mean, until she killed a noble's woman, then now we got
Yeah,
issues.
God forbid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, now you got a
Fuck the
problem, sis.
peasants.
Yeah. Yeah. They're
Which
just peasants.
at that point in time, that's exactly how they were viewed.
Yes. Yeah.
But which is it's not
Yeah.
they're
Don't be
still
pretty.
people and
Don't be pretty. That's all I'm
yeah,
going to say. You're
yeah,
just going to end up a whore in a bar.
yeah.
You, yeah. It was a blessing, probably, to be homely. What was the last
And
episode? Horse face.
horse face.
It was a
Horse
blessing to be a
face.
horse face. Yeah. Yeah.
And remind me, she liked how it tasted as well?
Well, she did it and she did a lot of it. I don't know if she liked it, but I know she did it.
Do
Yeah.
we know, and this is gruesome and really not, like not maybe this is the morbid in me coming out, but do we know how much she was ingesting or using?
If that was in her journal, nobody shared it. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
think so.
Do we know what they shared in the trial?
I did not see that, just that it was read aloud and there were literally people fainting from the things that she had written.
Did
Uh,
she testify?
no, she
Did
was,
she
no, she was on
plead
house.
guilty? Did she
No, there was none of that at that time.
none of that?
She
Okay.
was, she was at house arrest and everybody else was looking at what she had done. She never spoke for herself, to my knowledge.
Okay. Did she ever talk about it? I mean, I know she went into solitary eventually, but
She never repented, never repented, never said she was sorry, never said she did it, never said she didn't, as far as I can tell.
yeah, because she'd do it again.
She's
What
probably,
she got to repent about, you know?
when she went and laid
Like,
in bed that night, she probably was like, see, my hands wouldn't be cold if I just had some virgin blood.
oh,
Yeah.
I think so. She was in solitary for how many years?
4 years
4 years.
in a room with a bed and a table and a hole that she could talk to her guards through.
So
And
she was born in 1560,
she was,
and
yes. Yep.
by 1614, then roughly was when she died.
Yeah.
So that's 54-ish, 54, 55, probably depending.
Which was that, look, that's old for a woman back then.
It is,
Yeah.
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 I know we're looking at this from a vampirism lens for obvious reasons, Did any of the people ever talk about or associate this with witchcraft, or like if
There
it
was,
worked,
yes.
or
I didn't see anything hard. You know what I mean? I
okay.
didn't see anything that was hard evidence to me, so I didn't include it, but her aunt Claire, I think her name was Clara, was definitely a witch, and her uncle practiced Satanism. Her and her uncle um, practiced Satanism, and she was exposed to that, so she knew a little, but it wasn't like her jam. So I know that she knew some. So I'm wondering if, her aunt was just all hopped up about, Jesus, this is awesome. She's doing blood magic now.
Do we know the ages of, like, was it obviously it was primarily 12 to 13-year-olds
Later
w-
on, yeah. Not in the
later
beginning.
on.
Yeah, in the beginning they were handmaidens and, you know,
So they were maybe
probably not real
late
virgins.
teens to early 20s kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in the beginning, but those she ran out of those right away. Mhm.
I mean, yeah, she's blowing through. Do we know how many servants she had in her home?
No, we don't, yeah, we have no idea. She
Because are
did
people
not.
like, yo, where's all your servants going? Why are you hiring so many people?
Well, so there was like a house manager. I think her name was Dorca, and she would go to the village and be like, um, the mistress has heard amazing things about you. You're so beautiful. She's looking for a handmaiden, and you know, you'll be paid. You'll get to wear beautiful clothes, and
Is this who was hunting the girls for her?
she was procuring virgins for her. Yeah, she was. It wasn't, she rarely left. She had Castle Catchis, and she had a country manor out somewhere, and she rarely was any place other than one of those two places. But everything she did took place in the castle, not at the country home,
Did her
country estate.
manager do this out of saving her own ass? Or did she do this?
Unsure. I know she was, three people that assisted her before she was even tried, just on evidence alone, were beheaded immediately. Three people that
Oh,
helped her. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
oh.
Yeah. Because obviously she couldn't do it by herself.
So why wasn't she beheaded?
Well, she's a noble, you know. That makes more sense to me if we're going to talk about Istvan taking over her. It makes more sense to me that if he wanted her property right now, he could have done very little to influence the king to have her beheaded.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't do that. So, I mean, explain to me, riddle me then, why are we saying that potentially he was just wanting to inherit her land and her
And
riches? He wasn't.
Vermont, I don't remember if you mentioned this, but do we know anything about her children and what happened with them and everything after the fact, or if
Um,
they said
so
anything?
she had Anastasia. We know nothing other than she named her and off she went. I didn't see anything about her again. She had those six more children. Three of them died very young.
Okay.
I don't know about
Oh,
the
I
other
mean, that
three.
was, I mean, child mortality rates in the 1800s were
Sure.
22%, so I
Yeah.
can only imagine that young, but
Yeah.
or that many years ago, I mean. I wanna know how she died.
Like what was wrong with her?
Yeah, was it natural causes? Did it had to have been natural
I mean,
causes,
her hands are
right?
cold. So I'm like thinking to myself, um, some kind of heart issue. Her circulatory system was, not
Is that
functioning
common
well.
for heart attacks?
I don't know if it was a heart attack. Maybe it was just heart failure.
Or a clot,
Maybe,
maybe?
oh, maybe she caught something from one of these virgins from drinking their blood. Who knows? It could be anything.
What could she have caught that would have come about 4 years later?
Syphilis.
You think?
Well, yeah, because at
Does
some
it lie
point,
dormant?
sometimes I think eventually what happens is like it's all in your junk and then you're miserable and Jesus Christ, this is horrible.
Yeah.
But then it goes to your brain and
Oh,
stays
it
there. Yeah.
does.
And so you're no longer contagious and they call you asymptomatic, but you've got
Right.
syphilis in your brain.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty sure. Didn't they say that's what happened to Al Capone? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, don't start me lying.
I don't know why I'm bringing him up. Why are we bringing him up?
What's he got to do with this? No, I'm just kidding. Me bringing up Blackbeard earlier. Speaking of syphilis.
Yeah. So, quite a
How
horrible
did you
woman.
learn about this?
Um, s- so, that's all I do is absorb content, whether by book or or
Yeah.
online or wherever I can movies, wherever I can get it, I absorb dark
Yeah.
content. So I ran across her and I was like immediately long before you and I were even going to do a podcast. I'm like, "Oh, I'm keeping this." I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She's messed up. We definitely need to talk about her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, this is probably one of the darker things that we'll cover.
It's pretty dark. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I mean, she's bloodletting 12 and 13-year-old girls. Was it only girls?
It's so most historians say yes, but
Okay.
there are some that say when the virgin famine started that she would take any all she would take any. So she did do so it looks like they're trying to say that she did do children
Both, but maybe
of both
primarily.
sexes. Yeah.
Hey, why do we hate women?
Yeah.
Why do we hate women?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I think she hated everybody except her children and Frank. Frank, that sounds
Frank!
like
Frank! What?
Yeah.
He literally butchered the first love of your life, and you're like, "Yeah, you know what? Smash."
Mhm. Yeah, that was kinda hot. I'm into
That
it.
was kinda hot. Like,
That's the threesome you never want.
do you have any last words
Mm,
for the Bloody
I
Countess?
think she was set up for failure. That's what I think. And I think both things could
Yeah.
be true. I mean, I don't think Istvan was waiting like a spider in his web. I think he was
No.
like, "Well." Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I don't think that this was planned or intentional on his part. Now, did he benefit from it? Sure. Did he not kind of make it better or worse because he knew he was gonna benefit from it? Sure.
Mhm.
But I think he just kind of from what I believe, he probably just let it play out the way that it needed to play out because it didn't matter if he was gonna get that land now or later.
Right. Yeah.
I I think she did it. We've talked about coincidences. I think that's too many people to get on the same page, too many aspects of her torturous past, excuse me, to not have been doing something like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think she's guilty, but, I think she was set up for failure. I know I said it
Yeah.
before, but she didn't have a chance.
No.
It looked like she was gonna have all the chances because of what she was born into, but then, yeah, life just has a way of ruining everything sometimes. Not for me, but, for other people.
Well, and I guess it could be argued, maybe she was born with some of it, right? Because I mean, I guess I can't say if something like that happened to me today, I can't say that I would or wouldn't turn into what she did, but I mean, you look at the aspect of some serial killers and it's like, well, some of them had a lovely childhood.
Mhm. It's true.
And, think of how many people have a miserable, and I mean miserable, horrible upbringing and don't do these things.
Think about, for just 1 second, raging when you were 15 years old, and if you would have been allowed to act on that, would you have? I would have.
I
I can
I
already
would have
tell you.
slapped a bitch.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
100%.
Now
But torture is totally different than just wanting to slap a bitch.
well,
You
that's
know what I
true.
mean?
Yes, that is true.
Like like, torture is a different level than getting mad and acting out.
Right.
So it does make me wonder if maybe there's some kind of switch in certain people's brains?
Well, there is some studies, that support I don't know what they really call it, but in the study that I read, it was called the F gene, which was the
Hmm.
fear gene.
Oh, that
Um,
sounds familiar.
so you're born,
Mhm.
without this fear gene. I'm oof, I'm probably butchering this. Somebody can tell me if I'm wrong. But so you're born without this fear gene, and depending on where you were in life, if you had a nurturing family, you became the fearless guy running into a building that's on fire. If you're brought up in an abusive home, you turn into the guy who beats his wife and hides her body in the basement.
And that's if you do not have it or if you do have the fear
If
gene?
you do not have the fear
Do
gene,
not have the
I,
fear
I
gene.
believe that that's how it works. But
Okay.
either way, it's genetic and it's real. You
Okay.
don't have any fear of consequences. You have no fear of consequences. So be it. I'm doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's left to you to choose. Um, well, it's not really left to you. It's left to
Well,
your
yeah.
family, um, which way you go, really,
Yeah.
how you're influenced as a tiny child.
I mean, do you think that that influence from your family, like, being an adult, because when you're an adult, you're making your own choices, so do you think that that kind of goes out the window then?
Well, once you've done it,
Does that
right?
make sense?
Once you're a murderer,
Like,
you're a murderer. So does it matter if I killed 1 or 10? Not really. I'm still a murderer.
yeah. But, like, if somebody, let's say somebody doesn't have that fear gene
Okay.
and they went through that abuse, they had, let's say as a teenager, because hormones during teen years are, again, very different than being an adult and starting to have different developments. Do you think that those specific individuals as adults, though they're tempted, do you think they can overcome that temptation? Or do you think
I think they
it's just
probably could,
something.
but now it's opposite of everything they learned up into that point. So they would have to be monstrously
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
rewired, I think. I think. Because you couldn't I mean, okay, well let's see if it works. Let's do it in the opposite. So if this firefighter that saved 100 people's lives, can he just all of a sudden get pissed at, I don't know, his neighbor and kill him with a shovel and bury him in the backyard because he has no fear of consequences? Probably not.
Yeah, but think of all the quote unquote normal people who are so unsuspecting, but they are those murderers.
Like me?
You know what I mean? Well, think Jesus. Well, think of it. I don't know much about him. What do they call him? The weepy murderer?
Oh, I
The
haven't,
weepy?
yeah, I have that in my I'm waiting to listen to it. It's queued up.
Yeah, I mean, think about him, like, and I don't know if he actually felt guilty for what he did, and maybe some of that again goes back into mental health complications in general, but let's say he did actually feel guilty after his murders and he's making these phone calls. I mean, that kind of goes against, right? Like, that's the very, like, you have this I don't know anything about him, but I mean, there's so many cases of having these unsuspecting individuals who go out of their way to do nice things, and then, they find out that they are murderers and they are these horrible people that's hidden behind this facade.
Yeah, Gacy.
So I guess, yeah, like, I could totally see a firefighter running in and being fearless in that aspect, but being able to hide a body in his backyard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Ye
Like,
maybe. Maybe. I just don't, I feel like
I think I know what you're trying to say,
they
though.
count on those kinds of people count on us to be aloof to their little issues. Like, everybody that's like that has a tell. You just have to watch them long enough.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
So they count
Absolutely.
on breezing in and breezing out. Like, they liked
Yeah.
me, they still like me. Oh, look, I'm back again. They still like me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They don't believe I'm the killer. They don't believe I would do it. Yeah.
I think that pretty much covers that. I mean, we
Oh,
could
we should
literally
we
I
should
mean,
neatly close this somehow because I
we
guess I
should
didn't think
neatly
about
close
that.
this. No, that's okay. So, the Bloody Countess, absolutely absurd, evil, evil, evil woman. Justice for her victims, those poor babies, because I mean, even in your young 20s, you're still a baby. I mean, you're so
Yeah, yes to all of
justice
that.
for them. And with that, I wanna thank you for doing the research. This was incredible. This was
Oh,
incredible. You did really good.
okay. Yeah, you don't have to give me such big praise.
Oh, okay.
I
What
did a
is
lot of
your head
reading.
your head's getting too big? What's going on? You'll be able to walk out the door, right?
Yeah, it was I did I enjoy is a strange word, but I did enjoy reading about her and checking facts because
Yeah.
there was a lot to be checked because I was like, no way.
Yeah.
No way. Oh no way. Way. Way to all of it. So I tried not to if I shared anything that was up for debate, I tried to call that out. But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
I tried not to include anything like that. So
Yeah.
so I'm glad that you
Well,
enjoyed it and RIP the Iron Maiden virgins. I'm sorry about that. That's horrible. And
yeah.
if you have any questions or comments or additional information, or if you have a different opinion, we would love to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns.
sure.
Our email is thechamberofshadows@gmail.com. You can also find us at the Chamber of Shadows on TikTok and Instagram. Did you have any images? I think didn't you mention images for this?
Yeah, I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
send them. I'll send them to you right now.
we'll be posting those. So, well, with that, adios, sayonara. Goodbye and good night.
See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.